Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Berdel here, Berdel Warrior here with Go Higher Mindset Marketing. And I hope you guys having an awesome Thursday. This is the last day of November. Isn't that awesome? The last day. So my topic today is the big mystery, and that's your destiny. So you might say, what are you talking about, Berdel? What are you talking about? Hey, Karen. Hey, girl. Hope you're having a super day. And so the topic today is the big mystery, your destiny. So I was listening to Dr. Miles Monroe. I've got a girlfriend, I always listen to him. And she said, well, girl, have you listened to that man? And it's like, okay. So I finally started listening to him. And hey, Jackie, hope you're having an awesome day, girl. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. So let's talk about our destiny. So as he was saying, Dr. Miles Monroe was talking about this morning as I was listening to him, he was talking about our destiny. We realize, I guess most of us don't realize, that our destiny is already in us. God has already created your destiny within you. Okay, so let's talk about an apple. I was going to say an orange, but since it's a season, Christmas season, a lot of people into apples. So apples. So if you take an apple, right, and you cut it open, what do you see? You see those black seeds, right? Okay. So if you think about everything that God created already has a destiny. That apple tree or that apple seed, if you plant it, will bear apples, right? So as a parent or mom or dad or aunt, wherever you find yourself, think about a child. We gave birth to that baby and moms, and then we matured. We put our whole being, our life into that child, and we minister to the child. We share our life with the child, right? So if you think about that child, okay. You think about that child. Let me slow down for a minute here. If you think about that child, right, as that child is growing up, you kind of have an idea of what the destiny that God has for that child. Some parents can see, or some other friends can see, there's someone's cutting grass here. You can see that the child might be a teacher, might be a doctor, might be a counselor, might be, whatever other labels you want to put on that child, right? So you already see within yourself that child going off to college. You already see the degrees that this child is going to accomplish, right? And you already have the plaque to put on the wall, right? Think about that child, right? So say, for instance, as a parent, we send this child off to college, right? We send this child off to college. So as this child progresses going to college, right, then they start, socializing with other people. And sometimes they find themselves with maybe the wrong crowd, right? They find themselves in the wrong crowd. Maybe, think about your life too. Think about your life. Maybe you say you messed up, okay? Maybe you got pregnant out of wedlock. Maybe you were sleeping around. Maybe you were using drugs. Maybe some people went to jail. All these things happen, okay? Meanwhile, as a parent that you have already saw the destiny for this child's life, right? You know that God already had a destiny for this child. But here's the thing. Even though God has the destiny and it's already in you, right? It's already in you. You have the choice of what road to take. He didn't tell you what road to take. You have to decide what road you're going to take. So like that child, he took the wrong path, right? He got sidetracked. This is sidetracked. So here you as a parent, you will bring that child back. You will help that child to grow. You will talk with the child. You even take the child to, whatever places, counseling that he needs or she needs, right? And so think about it as God. with our mess, he, once we surrender, he comes and, because God never leaves us. We're the one that decides to, we grow and we don't need him anymore. So we the one take off. So, hey, God in his mercy, you come back, and then with all the baggage that you have, all the mistakes that you've made, right? And he comes and he wraps his arm around you. He put his covering over you, right? Okay. You are a new creature. You're starting over. So then finally you mature because of all those bumps and all those mistakes that you made. You finally came to a decision. No, you're mature enough. Now you can say, okay, I'm going to return. I'm going to take another direction. I'm going to go another direction. I'm trying to get the lighting here. You're going to take another direction, right? So you move to another direction, right? And as you're moving, you can see the destiny that God has for you. You can see the destiny that your parents, the plaque that the parents is getting ready to put on the wall. You can see the ideas or the plans the parents had for you, right? You can see it now. Because, hey, Val, hey, girl, I hope you're having a super day. So now you can see the plans that he has for you, right? So even though you have all the scars and all, you might have the children and all this other, things to bring in. And God always takes us and he works with us where we are. He's worked with us. Because we as individuals, we have surrendered to him, and now we want to make sure that we want to follow his plans, right? So think about it. If you also think about the story of Joseph, I believe it was Genesis 37, Joseph. He found himself in a pit, right? So if you think about us, sometimes we find ourselves in a pit, right? And then we sometimes find ourselves in prisons, right? And then within the prison was his source to move him to the next level. So sometimes the road that we take is not the road that God has for us, but within all that, he takes the mess, and then within the mess, when we come out, we get the testimony. Isn't that awesome? We get the testimony, and then we can able to share with our friends. And remember too, sometimes some of us are maybe, some of us are in a mess, okay? And then you come out of the mess, right? And some people are maybe on the right steps and taking the right journey to their destination, right? Maybe they decided to take the right steps, right? And because you have taken the right steps, isn't that awesome? Doesn't it feel so fulfilling that now you mature enough? Because it's just like with the story with Joseph. Okay, if God had told him way back when he was young that you were going to be this, you're going to be that, right? You wouldn't have you couldn't see it. He couldn't see it because he was not mature enough. So it's just like us as our mom, dad, the bumps that we have taken, the messes that we have made in our lives. Okay, we can see now the plans that God has for us, and then we made like a U-turn, or we took another road to get us where we need to be, where he wanted us in the first place. So if you think about your life, ladies and gentlemen, knowing that wherever you find yourself today, okay, all you do, if you in the wrong mess or made a wrong road, you got all these different roads. It's almost like my daughters, I love to play chess. So you got all these pieces on the chess, right? So you can go all these different directions, but some of the pieces only move maybe one step, two step, right? But us as human beings, we need to make sure that we're moving, taking the steps in the right direction, right? And some people might say, hey, Berdel, you know what? I need to see plan A, plan B, plan C. You know what? The bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to see a plan B unless like if you say, I like to think about Moses with the children of Israel crossing the Red Sea, unless you make that one step, right? That one step. how are you going to see the next step? Because once you go to the first steps, there's some stuff that you got to go through, character building, some friends you have to drop off, right? Some things you have to get out of your life, some baggages you have to let go, right? Some habits you have to let go. Some new things you would have to pick up on, maybe a better lifestyle, a better eating habits. There's some stuff you have to leave behind. So as you're making that step, okay, you're building character. And then once you develop those characters within that step, then the next step is you get the next step and the next level and you keep on moving on, right? But you have to make the first step. I know today I put on there a Bitcoin. One Bitcoin is over $10,000. And some people might say, hey, I don't have that type of money. But here, start with wherever you want. Start with where? Maybe you only have $100, $200. You know, that's not something you start off at, at $10,000. If you have it, fine. But, life in itself is just start with your first step. What do you have that you can do? As an entrepreneur, maybe you don't have the funds to do pay advertisement, right? But then you could go to Facebook or and post, do some posting, right? You could start there, okay? Maybe it's a relationship that you need to mend. All you need to do is pick up the phone and make the call, right? Okay? Then again, it has some friends that you need to let go. All you need is to just limit your time with those people. So as we continue this journey, okay, as we continue walking through our destiny, that desire, that dream that God has for you, maybe you thinking about the house, the car, the friends, the relationship that you need to be in, that is there for a reason, right? God embedded that in you. So now you got to figure out what roads you're going to take in order for it to come to fruition. Okay? But here it is the thing. Do you believe him that he has a plan for your life? Do you believe that he has your destiny already in you? Sometimes I believe we get around people and we've been lied to. They say, well, you're not good enough. You need this, you need that. No. Everything you need, God has already given you, okay? You just have to be the one to take the first step and believe, and just move with that belief that you are on the right steps. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's leave you with this in closing. This is coming from Jeremiah 29:11. And this is what God says. He says, for I know the plans I have for you, declared the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Isn't that awesome? That's Jeremiah 29:11, right? So think about it, While we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Isn't that awesome? So if we really, really, truly believe that he has you, okay, and everything that he has is already yours, but you just have to be the one to just go ahead and claim it, reclaim your birthright, right? Everything you need, he has given you. All you got to do is continue believing and take the move. It's your steps. So what will you do today, ladies and gentlemen? Will you decide to take him at his word? That's it. Are you going to buy into his word and stop buying into what somebody else is saying or listen to those false belief system? Okay? Everything you need is already inside of you. Okay? You just need to figure out what road you're going to take in order to get whatever that is. Okay? So ladies and gentlemen, this is Berdel Warrior with Go Higher Mindset Marketing, and you can also find me on Go Higher Warriors. So if this was of value to you, please go ahead and make a comment, and share. Until tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, have a super awesome afternoon. Talk to you guys soon. Hey Val. Hey Lynn.